This is a unique perennial vegetable that people may not have thought of, and it's kind of a multifunctional permaculture plant. This is Trachycarpus fortunei. It's also known as the Chu San fan palm or the Chinese windmill palm. One of the most commonly planted palms in China, and it is very common throughout other parts of the world because it's so adaptable, and it has many, many uses. It can be used for raincoats, for thatching roofs, for basketry, for cordage, for brushes, baskets, I mentioned baskets, um, rope, rough cloth, lumber, utensils like kitchen utensils, and it is also a perennial vegetable. And the part you eat is the new flowers coming out. The flower spathe, just when it emerges, seems to have the least tannins. I suspect in China there's probably varieties that are low tannin. Okay, what I'm going to do here is to get access to these flowers. I have some old seed clusters I'm going to snip off with this long reach lopper. These are much bigger flower clusters on this tree, and they've opened up. You can see some that are starting to open and others that are fully opened. But these are nice big ones on this tree, but it's a little more mature in this season right now, so we're not going to take those and cook them. So here we have exposed a new flowering spathe, and this is a good stage to get these. Here we go, we're cutting it off. We've removed the edible part. You just have to pull it down. Okay, so we've got this spathe flower bracts coming out, and it's this is a very small one on this particular tree, and it's still wrapped in this sheath. And inside of this, it has a immature flower which has a texture a lot like millet. Sometimes you get them and they're not green yet at all. They're just a cream color. But this part, what we'll do is we'll boil this up, and it's pretty good. And it's quite a bit of food value there. It's got some pollen in it, and even the stalk, when cooked, reminds you of a broccoli stalk or maybe the texture of an artichoke heart stem. So we'll take this up to the kitchen and cook it up. Welcome to my family's outdoor kitchen. And here we've got a pot of water boiling and our piece of palm. Now remember, I did say this is a very small one. We're getting toward the end of the season, and this particular tree is in a dry spot, and for some reason it has very small ones. So I'm going to put this in boiling water. I'm going to put in some salt, just a pinch, maybe about a third of a teaspoon or something like that. And then I've got some wood ashes here that I just pulled out of the wood stove, which are still actually hot, which they don't need to be. But I've got some charcoal. I'm going to put in the water, some ash and charcoal, and that helps absorb tannins. Now the reason these aren't edible immediately is they do have tannins in them. And what we'll do is we'll boil this once for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll drain off the water and do it again. And at some point, the water becomes red and the tannins come out of the flowers. And then they're soft and edible, and kind of thing you'd put in soups, stir fries, Thai curries, anything like that. Or you could eat them plain or dip them in some kind of sauce. Anyway, we found these to be quite good perennial vegetables. Okay, here we are with twice boiled flour, and at this stage you could put it in other foods, or you can eat it just like it is and just take a chunk, or you could dip it in sauce. Pretty good. Pretty cooked, not bitter, kind of thing Feels very filling, and you could throw it in anything else. But there it is, another perennial vegetable. Want to try pieces? Right. Pretty good.